All right. What's up, guys? Welcome. We are live. It's very dark behind me. I have my lights are dead behind me, so it's just me in my dark basement here. What about you, Ayush? How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Love that
What
background,
about
by the
you?
way. Nice background. Very good. Very good background.
Thank you so much.
Is it red because we're in a bear market?
Yeah, I can say that.
Yep. All right. Let's see what we have going on in the markets today. What are we trading today, Ayush?
So as we saw yesterday that we had this rejection near the supply zone of daily time frame, and I was expecting that we can get a nice pullback on BTC as well, which is happening right now. And I always say that I always be careful near higher time frame wicks. I never fight with them. So currently we can see that Ethereum is in support, but I will like to go long on BTC because it is a stronger one. So I'm not really bearish on BTC. I'm entirely bullish, but going longs on BTC would be a wrong idea because it is not really doing great as a bull pair. And we also had reaction from the supply zone of Doge yesterday, and it really fell more than, I guess, even Ethereum and BTC. So just looking for longs, and we can fill this entire daily wick. So my bias for today is longs on all pair. And if we look at the order flow chart, we can see that Doge is also above value area high. So there are pretty high chances that we can go long during 9:30 open.
Yeah, I like that chart, by the way. What chart is that? Is that on? That's not TradingView. Is it the black one?
It's MMT.
MMT. MMT. Yeah, what does MMT stand for? MMT order flow. It's the order. Is it market monkey? Is it market monkey terminal? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. We should partner with them and say you sign up to the monkey terminal and you get a free Apex account. It's actually not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. We should definitely do that. I like that. Let's do that. Trade with flow, with not against it. Interesting. I think it looks really good. Yeah, I mean, looking at Bitcoin right here, maybe we can switch over to my screen here. And what I'm watching is, you know, I feel like we don't have a lot of, it's just slowly grinding up here. And of course I got stopped out on my short, no real surprise there. I'm going to go into the DX Trader platform here to see where I'm actually at with the trades here. Well, I am in good profits on ENG and XLM. It's only really Bitcoin that got me stopped out. But if we look at XLM right here, I am, well, okay, I say good profits, but not really great profits. But I'm liking what we see here. If Bitcoin doesn't break out, then I think we're gonna get a rejection here. We got RSR, good. I like it a lot. We got comp. You know, almost came up and hit that entry right here, but then fell lower, unfortunately. What's the other one? RSR, XLM, ENG. Yeah, look at this. Holy shit, this is bad. This is gonna, again, we're shorting a dead project exactly as it should be. Look at the, remove the log scale. This is crazy. This is just insane. Look at the volume. Where did that volume come from? Like, it has not seen any volume in forever, and then all of a sudden, boom, get a little. I think this might be a pump and dump. You know what? Why did engine pump? Anyone know in the comment section? We got Psyop saying that's a good idea. What's a good idea? What's a good idea? Oh, yes, the Apex deal. Yeah, I do agree. That's a great idea. Great idea. Maybe we can do a complete altcoin scan here. See if we can find some overextended altcoins. So we can short. Take some money. I feel like I'm getting a sore throat. Feels like I'm getting sick. That sucks.
So you are still in your Bitcoin shorts? You are still holding it?
No. I got stopped out. I'm out of that one, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Let's see. Do we have anything interesting happening here? Algo. Oh, god damn it. Look at that. It's beautiful. Arb. We want a short Arb. I want a short Arb. What about... What's up? Stranox. Eumir says, Ayush, do you have a subscription to MMT or can you use it well even with the free plan? Eumir is basically asking, can you use MMT for free or do you need a subscription?
So it depends on your strategy. So basically I use only value at a high volume profile. So it works well. I'm on a free plan right now because they still have, I don't know, I should say this on live, but they have some bugs in the platform. So before I go all in, I want some changes. Then I'll be switching to the premium plan. But I think if you use candlesticks as well, and you are someone who trades supply demand first and then order flow, then I think the free plan might work for you. But it depends. If you are someone who is just getting started, then I would prefer MMT. And if you're someone who is using order flow for many years, and we have very good platforms like Sarah Charts, and we also have Deep Charts. They are also going to introduce crypto market in 2-3 months, and I'm gonna switch to Deep Charts in few months if they bring crypto as a product soon. So yeah, MMT you can use if you are new to order flow, or else I think for now it's free plan is good for beginners.
That's interesting. So you're saying deep charts might go into the crypto market?
Yeah, I asked the support chat. They said that they are planning, but not right now. But in 2-3 months they are going to bring it. And Deep Charts also has very nice interface like TradingView. It's really smooth. And if I switch over to MMT, I don't feel really comfortable with the UI they have. But it's still okay to use. Yeah.
It's definitely important to feel like it's working well from a user experience point of view, and for me the whole visual thing is very important. That's why I like TradingView. It looks good, it feels good, everything is very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a shitcoin alternative here called JTO. Okay, let's take a look at JTO. What's all the hype about? Okay, yeah, it's a dead project. Let me Google here. Why is JTO a proper shitcoin? Explain to me like I am 12. Do you think it's gonna do that? Is it? Come on, Gemini. Imagine you have a lemonade stand, but instead of using cash, you use special Yeto tokens to buy lemonade. Okay. Why people call it a shitcoin, the 12-year-old explanation version. It doesn't make you money by just holding it. That's good. It's a price roller coaster. Yes. No real usefulness. Yeah. Okay. This is a project on the Solana blockchain that lets people stake their money to earn rewards, kind of like getting interest in a bank. But also the bank gets robbed and burns down. Okay. Yeah, we should definitely short this. I don't even know what it is, but it's hitting resistance. It's a good resistance level right here. So where can we short it to? Let's see. So I'm just thinking down here. Have that support. So it's pretty simple, isn't it? Let's look at RSI. We want RSI to be in the same area where we were previously in this range. Let's look at the 4 hour. Do we have any type of signs of breakup structure? So we can look at the behavior of the previous touches. We had indecision candle and then the bearish candle. Same thing here, indecision, bearish. We got, well, okay, we got it. Let's see. If I short it right here. Okay, Geomir, the account holder, says, thanks, Ayush. I think it's best of all as deep short, but I haven't coded my strategy yet, so it might be a good choice to code to start with some free platform first. With all the accounts you're getting, man, you shouldn't have to use two free accounts, man. Get some payouts. Get some payouts. Buy yourself a proper subscription. That's what I would do. I mean, you won like 4 accounts. Surely you should be making some money soon. If not, then come on live, and we'll do a mentoring session. That would be cool. Okay, what do you guys think? Are we gonna long? Are we gonna short JTO? This nothingness of a coin. You know what? I don't even care. I don't even care what you say in the comment section. I'm gonna short this anyway. JTO. All right. The question is, are we gonna short it right here? I mean, look at the daily. Yeah, that's a nice little wick right there. I like that. There's no way it's gonna be back above there. Like, why should it? You know? Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I'm just gonna do a 2R on this because I feel like I don't want to be greedy on this one. Actually, I want to be greedy on this one. We'll do it down there. Okay, let's go. Gonna go short. Make some money. Or not. What happened with my trading?
Jonatan,
yeah. What's up?
So I always see that you always short the projects which are going to die. I think that is something which works well for you.
Dude, so I gotta be honest with you guys. I rarely trade altcoins like this. You know, this is something that I did a lot back in, like I traded a lot of altcoins back in like 2017, 18. And then throughout my trading journey, I started moving into more the higher time frames and focusing more on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then, you know, also moving into like the Forex market and the futures market, and then sticking, you know, in the crypto world, you stick into Bitcoin and Ethereum. But now, as you know, I'm joining Tradeify Crypto and we're launching this whole live stream and the whole project. I basically told myself, okay, let's get back to the style of trading that I used back then and see if it works now. And basically the way I'm trading is just purely discretionary based on all the knowledge that I've accumulated throughout this 10-year trading journey. So it's not really about a project being dead, but it's just about trading clear levels to levels, right? So if an altcoin is at resistance in a bear market, I want to sell that, right? It's just very, very simple. Very, very simple. So it's not that this specific style of trading is something that works well for me. I believe it, you know, if applied consistently, it's honestly something that will work for pretty much everyone. Because if you sell resistance, chances are you'll make money. If you buy support, chances are you'll make money.
So we have Boris.
It's not about it's not about, you know, what the trades you enter. It's about what you do after you've entered, right? That's all it is, you know. I mean, we can all see good trades. I mean, Trader Dante put it beautifully, right? It's like the difference between a profitable trader and the unprofitable trader is, okay, he swears a lot as well, so I can't say the whole sentence. But basically, it's all about the difference is what does the trader do after entry? Just let the trade do its thing. Like, don't touch anything. If you have a plan, let that plan play out. Don't stop micromanaging and doing all of that stupid shit. It's basically Boris. What's up, Boris? Welcome.
Hey, how are you? How are you guys?
Where's the plant?
I
don't have a plan today.
I might. Like, I have multiple secret locations where I'm streaming from. I left it at my other secret location.
Dude, I don't care
so
why. I don't care why. All I care about is what you don't have a plant. I feel like we need to hire a personal assistant that just walks around with a plant wherever you go.
Yeah.
You get that? Personal plant assistant.
But you were just saying about Trader Dante and like sticking with your plan. And that actually has me nervous because I went long on Bitcoin right around this current price and I took 5% risk on. My usual risk was 1-2%. And I was thinking, I was actually getting nervous. I was sweating like prior to the stream. Like, should I de-risk or should I just stick to the plan? I guess I should stick to the plan now that you've mentioned Trader Dante, who I'm very familiar with, and just stick with this 5% large risk and let the trade play out.
Yeah, but the issue here is there's also a difference between like bad execution, right? Like an actual bad trade, and when you have a bad trade or you have bad execution, which I also mean, like if you're risking more than what you probably should, then those rules doesn't apply, right? Because if you risk more than what you should be risking, and then you're looking at the trade right now and you start sweating, maybe that's a sign to maybe do something,
Yeah.
That's a sign.
I think someone got their speakers on a bit loud. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, sorry, that was me. My Bluetooth
Okay, don't worry.
turned off.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay. Astronaut says, Jonatan, I haven't received my account from the giveaway. Really? Okay. Let me. When did you win, by the way? Could you let me know when you won the account, and I will look that up for you. I will take a look at that. I will take my space pen and I will write your name on a piece of paper. It's a lost art. I love this pen. It smells horrible. Why does it smell so weird? Yeah, there's no...
Jonathan, I took 5% risk on this trade because I just felt like the right move, because we've been talking about this level.
Yeah, that's what everyone says before they get stopped out, right? Like, felt like the right move, and then you get stopped out, and it's like, oh no, you know what? It felt like the wrong move.
The thing is, I'm right at break even right now, so I don't feel comfortable like going to sleep later with 5% risk on Bitcoin going into the New York session. Maybe we have 2 hours of the stream, so I'll figure something out.
Okay, I just went short here on JTO. Let's check. Let's check Bitcoin. Where do we have? Where's Bitcoin even? Let me flip over to my screen and I want to actually take a look at Bitcoin there. Yeah, it's where do you have your stop loss at?
Me?
Yeah.
My stop loss is roughly at 70. This is updated. So yesterday it was at 73,101. It's around 73,000 is my stop loss.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
So it's pretty wide.
Yeah.
At the same time, if you get like some kind of like tweet from Trump, or there's some random news headline, we could have like a flash like down that level. And I think if anything right now, like I should use even wider stops. Like I'm using like a ATR based stop system. So instead of my usual 1.5x average true range stop, maybe I should be using like a 2.0 ATR or even wider. Like just use a very wide stop loss in these kind of market environments. So it's like new to me. Like I don't usually trade just trade it for moves.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I'm not sure.
I like how it's like, I don't usually trade this, so I'm putting on 5% risk. Yep. I love it. I mean, everyone's been there. It's like, what if it hits TP and I risk 1%? And it's like, but what if I risk 5%? It's very easy to
5%. It's not that much. Like if you lose 5% of your account, you can still recover.
Yeah, on my personal account, 5% is doable, but on a prop account, can't do that.
Exactly.
But
like I guess on Tradeify Crypto, you gotta be careful. That's like nearing the risk limit.
Exactly. But on my
So
personal
like
account, I remember
I don't know. Yeah.
Like last year, I took a trade on S&P 500. I risked 15%. And it just kept running, and I think I made 40 or 50% of the account in November. So I made like all of my money that year was made on one trade in November. So I literally like just waited the whole year. It was like at break even, and then November one trade made all my profits. So sometimes,
you know what,
it works.
That was actually my strategy when I first started trading, or what I thought was trading at that point in time. So basically what I would do is every time Bitcoin would break above a certain level, I would pretty much leverage my entire account on BitMEX using 5x, 10x leverage, not even understanding what that means, like 5x, 10x leverage, and the mathematics behind it. And then by the end of the week, my account would like 2x, and I'd be like, wow, I'm forever. So now I try not to do that anymore, obviously.
Yeah.
And actually use proper risk.
I think you're jumping in and out a little bit on the sound there.
Yeah, it's my Bluetooth. It's low battery, so I'm trying to charge it right now. So just bear with me, guys.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, go ahead, Ayush. I'm just reading a message here. Sorry, this being a little bit quiet here.
So as we can see that.
Wait a minute. We have someone called Aspire Capital who would like to propose a partnership. All right. Yeah. Make a proposal. Make a proposal. Oh man, he got like millions of views on his shorts. It's pretty impressive, man. Got one of those no face AI channels. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Ayush.
So we are pumping on Doge currently, but having no volume on BTC and Ethereum is something stopping me to long this pair. And if we manage to go above this red zone, red line, which is 96731, it is going to be good to go long still 97908. And you guys know that I'm a 1:1 trader, so I'll be going longs above this, putting my stop exactly at the support level and targeting this high. So it's gonna be 1.46 ratio, but right now we have nothing much on both major pairs. That's why I was not in this trade. I thought to go longs, but when I saw that price is actually near point of control and value area low on BTC. That's why I am still observing that who is going to get absorbed if we close above point of control on BTC, and also on Ethereum we are below value area low. So we have a lot of supply demand zone on order flow chart as well. So currently what I usually do is I have this thing in my journal that whenever I try to long Doge without watching BTC or Ethereum movement or supply demand zone, I usually end up losing the trade. So if Ethereum and Bitcoin is not going to show some bull volume, I'm sure that this candle is going to go lower, and it can match the Doge and Ethereum, BTC and Ethereum movement. So whenever you are trading, let's say Solana, make sure that you have good idea about Bitcoin and Ethereum volume, because many times I have seen myself in a bull trap or bad trap. This candle is not enough to convince me to go long. So yeah, I'm pretty much sure that this is not going to play out well. What we want is just good volume in BTC and Ethereum, then we can easily go longs on Doge. And what I have seen that on Doge, we usually see price deliver from one 4-hour candle to another 4-hour candle wick. So I usually target wicks. So this is the best target to have if we go longs, but not right now. I want some volume in both pairs, which we don't really have right now. And price is below daily open, indicates that we need some more volume coming in. And we also have support area on Ethereum at 2314. And this is the Tuesday 21st April wick. And we have this previous supply zone, which is now going to act as support in BTC. So yeah, so if you are looking for longs, I think BTC is something which can give you good profits for longs, because I think it's going to reach the previous swing high early than Ethereum. And the problem we have here is that even if Bitcoin manages to break above daily open, when Ethereum will reach at daily open, what usually we see is that it will give us some reaction and continue to go higher, which can slow down Bitcoin as well. So yeah, and right now Doge is still pumping, but I need some more surety on main pairs. I think I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, I'm muted. Always muted. Always muted. Wild Uses says I'm looking for longs. Looking for longs on what?
Looking for longs on Doge.
God, look at hype though. Look at
why do you like trading Doge? I'm just curious. It's kind of it's in the top 20, but why Doge in particular? Because why is that your favorite? I think you explained it like in yesterday's stream. Asked you something with the commission rates.
You're not talking to me, right? Because I believe Doge is like one of the most retarded projects out there. You're not talking to me.
Well, no.
Because it is the only pair which we can scalp on lower time frame because of lower commissions.
Okay.
And the movement is really nice.
Okay. Low commissions. Okay.
So it's good for intraday traders who are trying to scalp, not obviously on 1 minute, but still 5 minutes is the best time frame to scalp.
Yeah. I don't think Doge is retarded. I think it's a great asset. And
it is. It's. I mean, it's. We got to be thankful for Doge. I mean, Doge created the whole meme culture, right? It was one of the original ones. So you got to be thankful for that.
Yeah, and actually, it has very fast transactions. So if you want to like send Doge to another person very fast, it's almost as fast as Solana and TRX. So if you want to send money to someone via Doge, go ahead. It'll be very fast. So
Actually,
if you guys want to send some Doge to me, I'll send you my Doge address.
if you flip over to my chart, I'll actually show you. We have on Doge here it's very cyclical. It's a cyclical meme coin, right? So when it starts moving quite heavily, and I think we're actually in accumulation. I don't think Doge is gonna Doge. It's gonna go much lower than this. And it's a fairly good upside potential here if it starts moving. So might be some interesting trades here.
But also there were some fundamental factors behind Doge. Like I think Elon once tweeted that it's going to be integrated into X payments somehow, and it's going to be the primary, I guess, token for transacting on X. But I think he abandoned that idea, and I think he's building his own X token now or something. Who knows what that guy's up to?
Yeah. ENG.
So Wilduse234 is asking us, I actually have an account. Can you tell me what lots are? I'm newly in an account. So the formula to calculate your lot size on crypto is risk in dollars divided by stop loss in points. And if it's something really bothering you, you can join our Discord where I have posted an indicator which is going to count for you. So you only have to take the pip range tool and you can input the range in the indicator. It will show you how much you're going to make according to your risk to reward, and it will show you the commissions as well. So you can try it out if you are new to crypto.
I think one of the absolute best ways of doing it in trading, it doesn't matter if you're trading crypto, if you're trading futures, if you're trading CFD market, forex, indices, whatever, just have a position size calculator, right? That's something that I started using when I started trading crypto in the very beginning, and I remember using Baby Pip's position size calculator, and then TradingView got integrated and I started using the position size calculator in TradingView. And then all I really think about is how many percentages of my account. I'm not sure if it's the same type of mentality in the futures market, but all I think about is, okay, what's my percentage of account that I'm going to risk on this trade? And then you just put that into the position size calculator, and that's it. So you don't have to think about what's lot size, how many shares do you want to buy, how many satoshis of crypto do you want to buy, like that. All of that doesn't really matter. All you have to care about is what are you actually risking on the trade. Put that into percentage terms, and then you enter the position that way, and it will calculate the whole position size for you. So position size calculator. You have it in TradingView, and if you go to DX Trader, where do I have that? If you go to DX Trader and you open TradingView, you can go to tools, and then under tools you have TradingView, and I believe TradingView also opens first time you log into DX Trader. You do have a like an order window, right? When you press sell or long, the red or the blue buttons, you do have a position size calculator popping up, and that's all you really have to care about. Let me switch over to that platform actually, and we'll show you exactly what I mean. This one right here. So you come into DX Trader, and then if you wanna sell, click red. If you wanna buy, click buy. And then you select limit or whatever. But the best thing you can do here in TradingView is you go here to the left on the menu, and you have long and short tool. If you put this on here and say, I want to go long down here, like that, and these are the stop loss and the TP I want to use, then all you have to do is just right click on that one and create limit order. And all the figures will already be filled in here. and the last risk that you used. So you can switch to market if you want to have a market order, and then you just put in how much you want to be risking. Okay, 0.25%, and that's it. Now you don't have to care about lots. Doesn't matter, lots or this you don't have to care about, because you know that this is what you're risking, right? So I couldn't really tell you why does it say lots here? What's a lot? That's CFD language. There's no lots in the real crypto market, in the spot market anyway, because in the spot market on crypto, you're simply just looking at owning specific tokens of that altcoin. So it's not even calculated in lots. This is just a CFD type of language, right? So don't care about that. Just care about your risk. And we have a question saying how to connect to TradingView. You can't connect to TradingView, the app, but you have TradingView within the DX And I believe whenever you log into DX you're going to have, it's going to say TradingView right up here. And you can also go to tools, and it should be in here as well if you haven't opened it already. Okay, let me switch back to TradingView. So just so you guys know, unfortunately, Anastasiia is not available today. Give me a second. My son wants to listen to music. Look at this. He got a Minecraft headphones. Isn't that the coolest headphones you've ever seen? I think they're beautiful. Look at that. Okay, nice. So
how many views does that video have now?
Oh, the views. Let me see. So let me see. So there's actually multiple pretty big videos here now. We have one video. It's crazy. The channel has like 100,000 views already. And one video has 45,000 views, and then I have two others with over 25k views, which is just insane.
What?
It's only been 3 days.
Close to 100k.
Yep. So what's cool is this channel makes more views in a week than my trading channel has done in like a year. Which is insane.
That's good. Like, we put so much work into trading, analysis, making content, trying to be interesting for whoever is watching us talking about crypto, and yet we have these. We have your son just making, a quick video, and instantaneously he's basically a rock star. It's crazy.
Yeah, tells you everything you need to know about what people care about and the attention span of people today on social media. It's like, oh, here's a video teaching you how to be financially independent by just trading horizontal support and resistance, or just look at this 6-minute clip of a car driving up a rock. But to be fair, I would probably watch the RC car as well.
Yeah, because no one wants to think too much these days. Everyone's stressed out.
No, exactly. It's like people are busy and people don't care.
Yeah. So who cares about our opinion of Bitcoin or Ethereum or Doge?
I think they do, but it's not for the masses,
As if you care about our opinions, please hit the like and subscribe button.
Yeah, what if no one likes now, though? That would be bad. All right. Man,
so guys,
my neck is killing me today. You're long what?
Long on Doge, because I think that we are taking support at this opening price of 8 a.m. and it can before we reach this supply zone or maybe a short pullback zone, Doge can reach this area. So I'm on a small risk trying it out. It's 1:1 trade.
A friend of mine just bought an RC car after showing him my channel. Nice. Right, now it can be RC buddies. The thing is, it's for my son, but like yesterday, he was driving with the truck. I'm like, hey, let's record a video. He's like, no, I just want to drive. I'm like, what are you saying? It's like you're killing my dreams of creating this YouTube channel. I didn't say that obviously, but I think somewhere deep down it's probably more about me than what's actually about him.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, let me know if you guys have any questions to the to myself, Boris, and Ayush, and any questions where the answer would help you in your trading. Let us know in the comments. It's always nice for you to you have an opportunity here for to let us help you guys out.
So, John, are you still in your shorts on XLM? And I forgot what other shorts you were in. I remember you were talking about XLM yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, I'm short on XLM here. Yeah, it's looking relatively strong here today. Actually, I'm in this RSR as well.
Actually,
and then we got the engine, and then I'm short on JTO here as well. What else do we have? That trading view kind of froze. DYDX. I feel like this is something. What is DYDX? Why do I recognize that? That was like super hyped up once in a time, I believe.
Yeah, it used to be DYDX, like a decentralized futures exchange. I think it was overtaken by, Hyperliquid. Because DYDX was like the original decentralized futures platform, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Guys, I have to jump off soon. I gotta take a break as well. There's been many meetings and things today. My throat is hurting, so I think I need to get some tea to prepare for another meeting I'm gonna jump into shortly. We have a question here saying, do you guys have the Tradeify futures data on how many traders are actually consistently profitable, like getting consistent payouts rate of all traders? We don't have any data on that from the futures future side now. Like, we're on the Tradeify Crypto here, so we don't really have any data from the futures side. And I'm not sure they share that today. I'm not sure. But guys, I actually have to jump off. I need to jump into a meeting, and depending on how long that meeting is, I'm hoping that I might be able to jump in a bit later. But I will at least be in the chat before we close this up. So see you guys later, okay?
Yep. See you, Jonathan.
Right, take care.
Me and Ayush will talk about our trade setup.
Yeah.
Good.
Are you currently long or short?
I mean, long on Doge.
Or just neutral? Yeah.
And it went straight down after I entered, so I'm just still holding it. And it is a $200 risk, so I'm not really sad about it. Yeah. The thing is that we have this candle below the open, so it can go lower. I always trade when market is above the opening candle and it is a 4-hour open. So if we are, let's say, for intraday perspective, and as a swing trader as well, if I have to go long, I'll be good to go long above the weekly open if I'm trading on 4-hour. But right now we are below the open, so I think it can be a retrace, and we have also a support level, and you can see that Bitcoin is actually messing around, not really closing below the open. If it will close below, then it is an indication that it can make another lower low. But for now, I just have to watch, and I don't think so. Bitcoin can make a lower low because it is a stronger pair for bulls and weaker pair for Ethereum. That's why Ethereum is going much more lower. So yeah, I think it's gonna stop me out.
Is that the only trade you're in right now? The Doge?
Yeah, that's the only trade I'm in right now, and I actually caught this move in the morning. Morning in my country. So I was laying down on my bed, and I saw that it actually broke above the supply zone we had on 4 hour. So here that was the supply zone, and in this candle I jumped in and I think I risked around $1,500 here and made around 1700 after the commission. So yeah, it was a great trade. I think you're on mute.
For myself, I'm still my Bitcoin long. My average entry was actually right around 77,800. So I'm just in slight drawdown right now. Like I said, this is a higher risk trade for me. But the reason for me entering the trade is it's very simple. We just broke above this high from last Friday. So breaking above this resistance, and we had a false breakout last Friday. So I really thought this is the real breakout. So right now we're kind of like in the indecision candle. So still holding this, still just a little bit of drawdown. I think I'm still hopeful that this will go up to the $80,000 to $83,000, $84,000 region as a swing trade. And then also actually, we were talking about this with Anastasiia the other day about PAX-G. I'm actually still out, believe it or not, guys, I'm still in my PAX-G long. I was like barely stopped out, and I decided to hold this position because it's kind of just hovering right around the 55 EMA, so kind of just chopping around. So I'm actually still in this position. That's another active position that I'm in. I also opened a new fresh position on BNB. It's based on the 2-day time frame, and this one, this is based on the fact that it broke above the 21 EMA on the 2-day time frame. And by the way, the 2-day time frame is a time frame that many people don't look at in crypto, but I think it's very powerful. And we haven't gotten above the 21 on the 2-day time frame since January. So almost like full quarter that we haven't seen price go above the 21 here. So I went long on BNB. So essentially, long BNB, long Bitcoin, long gold. I'm actually quite exposed to the long side. So that's why I'm a little bit worried about my Bitcoin position, because I'm already highly leveraged to the long side.
So I think you and Jonathan has to do a lot of calculation before you guys take an entry, because I've seen you guys trade together 2-3 coins. And how do you manage your entry? Are you taking all the entry on one account, or you have different accounts for all the coins? Because with Prop we have drawdown as well, daily drawdown, and maybe max drawdown as well.
So I try to allocate my risk evenly among all my trades. So I use one account, and then I don't try to be like all long or all short at the same time. So maybe I'll put on, if my bias is bullish, I'll put on 4 long positions and then maybe 2 short positions. And no matter what happens, like, it's very unlikely that I'll hit my max showdown. So it's kind of risky, but I've never been I've never hit my max drawdown, to be honest, because I use small risk apart from this Bitcoin trade, which is on a separate account, but usually I go 1% per trade and try to have not more than like 5 positions open at a time.
All right. And I think Anastasiia shorted gold yesterday, and it went really nice in, I think, one single candle. I think if she would have booked near monthly open, then it would have went well. I think she took somewhere from here, and the second entry was around here. I'm not sure about, because we really didn't have enough time to book. We can see this 815 candles straight up from the monthly open. That's why I treat opening price very seriously if they are of weekly and monthly time frame, because you can see the reaction from weekly open, rejection. So yeah, opens are actually really great to use. And I think, Boris, we also have we have a competition on how to like trading on 1 minute, I guess.
Oh yeah, I think that's next week. We're gonna do that all together with me, you, Jonatan, and Anastasiia, and I think the winner is going to get some kind of trophy. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, but I'm looking at the crypto bubbles right now for the day, and everything is kind of down. So
I mean, this week on all the pairs is really slow, and we really have to make decisions with very much patience and all.
Yeah.
Last week was really nice, but this week is something really tough. And I usually hate when I see volume coming in when I'm sleeping, or as I see movement during PM or ASA session. It really hurts, because we all know that after we see a good bull movement in one straight up line, and we are going to range for at least a day or maybe two, and then we'll see another pump and dump near the supply demand zone. Till then, we just have to look for intraday trades. So yeah, as an intraday trader, we also have some downfalls if you are not based on a country where you can't trade the PM session, NYPM session. Yeah, so I can mainly trade NYAM session. So I always pray that NYAM session should give us some volume to trade.
Yeah, speaking of the NYAM session, it's opening in like 30 minutes, and right now we have a good mix of like sells and buys on AgriTrade. I know you use like a different order flow tool, but on AgriTrade right now it's kind of like a good balance of sells and buys right now. So we'll see what happens in around like 30 minutes. That's when usually volume starts to tick up. Right now it's still pre-market hours in New York, so yeah, I'm looking forward to what happens in around 30 minutes.
And if you look at this, the pair you mentioned, the AI coin is taking support at the daily VIX. And if we break below, I think it's gonna go really well below this support zone, because we have nothing as a key level. I think it can go straight to 0.1409. Can we trade this pair with profit? Can we trade FET USD?
Which one is it?
This pair which you mentioned, which is an AI coin.
Oh, fetch. Yeah, actually, Jonathan told me we cannot, unfortunately.
Oh.
But I mean, it's still good to look at as a illustrative example.
So if you look, oh my God, look at Sol. It is making the channel here. I don't know how many people are waiting for this channel to break below. Yeah. Have you ever tried to trade Sol?
Yeah, I trade Sol all the time. Just one of the more liquid assets out there. But I don't really trade channels. I just use mainly my indicator system and my horizontal support and resistance. Actually, let's take a look at Sol from my point of view on the daily. So for me, this is just a no trade zone. Like Sol is pretty much just chopping around the 21 EMA and pretty much stuck in a range between 96 and like $80. So yeah, it's just in consolidating, it's either distributing or accumulating for the next move. Yeah, I don't see any swing trades on here. So for me, this is not a tradable asset when it comes to swing trading, but maybe as a scalper, you maybe have some setup and so, or some ideas on the lower time frame.
And we have 17 viewers watching us right now, but we have only 10 likes. So please make sure to like this video. I think at least we can get 20 likes, and we have 19 views. So we are expecting 20 likes at least. And if you guys are getting good value, then okay, now you are back to 15. I just said 19. Please like and subscribe the channel. We are very close to 400 subscribers. And yeah, tomorrow me and Boris are going to do a live stream on our Discord channel. So make sure to join that as well. We are going to answer a lot of questions there.
The Discord is really nice because it's more of a niche kind of private session. So usually get like more interactive questions and people who are really into really learning how to properly trade and manage risk. So I'll definitely join the Discord and tune into that session. It's going to be like kind of intimate, kind of more relaxed, and it's going to be the end of the week obviously, so it's going to be a nice chill session discussing how Bitcoin and other cryptos are performing and how we've performed over the past week.
So Ethereum is near the value area low. That is why it's getting difficult for us. And someone asked me that they should use MMT or not. You have your answer here that you can see that chart is not actually loading right now. I don't know why, and it is a little bit laggy as well. You can see it's not my internet but the website. So it is good, sometime it works well, sometime it will lag, so before you and you can see the connection loss. Everything is happening live. So for people who are just I think everyone should always have TradingView subscription as a backup before, and you should also use some great softwares out there which provides good data. So sticking to only one platform is something which I will never do. And now I think I have to refresh my page, then it will work. So if you guys have any questions, you are free to write it in the chat, and we'll try to simplify it if you are facing any difficulties.
So Ayush, what are you thinking towards Thursday? It's close to the end of the week now. What are you thinking towards Friday? What do you, like, if we don't get a move by, let's say, the end of today, like, do you think it's more likely Bitcoin will be like at this price, or will probably be lower? Because I feel like traders don't want to risk carrying positions into the weekend. We're still like 48 hours away from the weekend, obviously, but I'm already like starting to think, like, with this Bitcoin long that I have, I definitely do not want to be holding it into weekend hours. So I really want a move by the end of today, Eastern hours, or by tomorrow. If there's no move, then I think I'm going to de-risk a bit. Then maybe not necessarily close my Bitcoin long, but maybe put less risk on it.
I mean, if we look at on daily time frame, we were pretty much still in range, but in order to get some volume up, we still have this resistance area working for us. So if Ethereum is being the weaker pair, it manages to break above this resistance area today or tomorrow in maybe London session, then we can see good moves during next week. But if we still end up in this range even after Friday, so usually I'm not gonna trade on weekends. I usually do trade on weekends, especially Doge. But if we still stay in the range, and I'm not gonna do anything, because this week is the slowest I have seen in 2-3 months. Yeah, and it's getting really difficult for intraday trades as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very tough for me.
Yeah. We need some Trump tweets to move the market.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
We need some kind of catalyst because, like you said, this range has been going on since like February. So, February, March, April, 3 months, and it's been rough for me as a swing trader. Actually, this month was kind of okay, but February and March were not good at all. January was okay, but we'll see how this month ends. We still have like 1 more week, so I'm hopeful we get a break out of this range, and I'm hoping it's to the upside because that's where I'm currently positioned right now.
So if I look at your charts, you have this blue line marked as a supply zone. If you break above, it can go higher.
Yeah, so let me delete this one. This is not important. This is like the main zone to break because we tried to break out of here on like last Friday. We were rejected, but we found support on the 21 EMA here. And once again, we're trying to break above it, and we're like hovering right here, like right above this. We're basically right at resistance, basically. So yeah, it's a tough call. I think the market is looking for a break to the upside here. It's just my feeling, with my intuition right now. Well, let's take a look at the liquidation levels. Sorry, not the liquidation map, rather. Okay, so actually, this is quite interesting. Well, if you look at the Binance liquidation level map, actually, let's go to the overall liquidation map. You can see that there's actually a lot of shorts waiting to get liquidated once we get to like, what is this level? 80,000, let's call it. We could see like 1.5 billion in short liquidation. So it looks like in comparison to yesterday, this has shifted. So now the market is leveraged to the short side. So if we start getting above 80K, we're going to see a lot of short liquidations, and this should actually shoot price up above 80K. It's actually quite bullish for me. And then we can like go down to 70K and only see 1.23 billion in liquidation. So yeah, it looks like more people are leveraged the short side right now. So it's actually very different from the data that we were seeing yesterday.
Do we have any important news coming this week till Friday, or any event which can give us some volume?
I think it's mostly just whatever news headlines come out regarding the conflict in the Middle East and whatever Trump said or tweets.
I think Anastasiia has good grip on the geopolitical events better, because she always starts with the news what we have and break down the market.
Yeah.
It was so SPSYOP SIOP, I don't know how to pronounce your name. It was cleaner before the war. Yeah, we can say that. It was much cleaner before the war.
I'm looking at the order flow right now. Still, it's actually turning more negative now, but we're still 20 minutes away from the New York Open. And then looking at the crypto levels over the last hour, yeah, very mixed bag. Just basically mix of green and red. So we'll see. I think everyone's just waiting for the New York Open session to see what happens further.
Yeah. And I'm still hoping that my trade can go higher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on longs and I'm still waiting for 930 to give me some volume. And this move right here was only, okay, let's look at the time we have is 8:45. And if you look at both pair, you can see the 8:45 candle was the one who acted up, just went a little bit lower the open, and we saw a very huge candle going below. I mean, not so huge, obviously. On lower time frame, it looks like good pullback. If you look on 1 minute, yeah, this looks horrible when you just enter the trade and you see this kind of movement below. And someone yesterday on stream asked that why your candle colors are different. So it's nothing different. This is just a 40, 21 and 48 EMA band. If candles are above it, it will plot the actual bull candles in dark green and the opposite candles in light green. So I have proper idea of what trend we are in. So I mainly go shorts below the band, and above the band I go longs. And I'm using it only for intraday trades. You can see this on 15 minute, because this is a time frame where I align 4-hour supply demand zone on 15 minute, and also I watch volume profile as well, that who is getting absorbed and who is actually dominating the market. What I can see is the good thing about Doge right now is that we are above value area high and still trying to maintain the trade, but it will be bad if we come below. And on BTC, we are trying to retest the point of control again. So I'm expecting that it can give us some volume during the NY session, NY Open. And if you look at Ethereum being the weakest pair for long, we are finally above value area low. So I think it can pump till point of control. It can work as magnet. So yeah, I'm just every single day in low volume market, we say same thing, that we are waiting for market open, but it usually pumps when we are sleeping.
Usually the big moves occur when we're asleep, unfortunately.
Yeah. And yesterday I had a really weird sound coming from my laptop, and I was asking Roman that what was the cause actually, but I forgot that I had an alert on BTC, and I set it to a whale notification sound, and I actually forgot, and I got scared. So I was asking him that what can be the reason.
Yeah. Ayush, one thing that's interesting is we're finally on the crypto fear and greed index, we're out of the fear zone. We're right in the neutral zone now. So this is actually kind of a bullish sign, because we haven't been in the neutral zone since January. So it's been 3 months and we're finally out of fear. So right now we're at 45, which is, well, let me update this, refresh it. Yeah, we're at 45. So that's a neutral read, which is, well, I guess just neutral. But the fact that we've been like in extreme fear for like the past 3 months, this kind of seems to me that sentiment is starting to get more bullish. And yeah, this actually adds to my idea that we're going to break above 80K. But at the same time, this fear and greed index, like we were talking about with Jonatan, it's kind of antiquated based on how it's like the way it's calculated, because on CoinGlass, basically what they use is volatility 25%, market momentum and volume 25%, social media 15%, surveys 15%, dominance 10%, trends 10%. So I think, yeah, like the other week, me and Jonatan were thinking of a better way to recreate this index. But even if we use the old model, it's in neutral mode right now. So yeah, I'm curious, what do you think? Do you like use the fear and greed index at all? Like, you're more of a scalp trader, but I'm curious your opinion of like social sentiment and indices or like metrics like these.
So that is something I used only when I was trading the forex market, when I was doing CFD. So yeah, in 2021, I usually used to wait for the rate cuts and all. But in crypto, I'm mainly just trying to scalp lower time frame. So I think it does not really matter. But the only thing which hurts a lot when Trump tweets something and we see a lot spikes coming in. So if you remember that we had spike, I think before some weeks, and I was in short and it went long, and it actually took out my entire position, which I was in profit of around 2000. So I feel this is something which can be hurtful for scalpers, but I don't think so. I always wait for some sentiments to release, because all I care is that do we have any supply demand zones. If I'm going long, I make sure that there is no supply zone above my TP, and that's how I mainly trade. So main focus is just wicks on the chart, and I'm just volume profile, nothing else. And if I see your screen and you have some meters going on, it looks like a racing F1 for F1 engineer kind of thing. So
yeah,
that is something really new
that's
to
funny.
me, and it's great to learn. Yeah.
But you just use volume profile, no other indicators.
Yeah,
or no other
volume profile and candlesticks and supply
awesome.
demand. That's it.
Yeah.
I actually tried many strategies in the past, and I came across that we actually need to understand ourselves before we go for a strategy. And it took, I think, a long time to understand myself that I can be a swing trader, or I can be a intraday, or I can be a scalper. Because let's say if I share my strategy out there with a lot of people, I don't think so everyone is going to understand how I see the markets, because you really have to understand that your patience level. If you are good at holding trades for months, then it's good for swing. And I've seen that swing traders are actually more happy than intraday traders. Like the best example we have is Jonatan. He is always happy and smiling on the stream, and he'll be like, we have this here, we have that here, and I'll go long and I'll go short, and yeah, he's done on daily time frame. So as an intraday, you have to understand what actually suits for you.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, actually, no one actually told me that, we have to figure that out. Every course seller told me that, okay, I'll teach you XYZ things and you will make millions. And that never worked out.
So why did, I'm sure you studied a lot of like different technical analysis strategies or techniques. Why did like volume profile, like why did you choose volume profile in particular versus all the other various strategies that are out there? Because I'm very familiar with volume profile myself, but I don't know. I think it's great but I have my own system like of indicators that but what made you like fall in love with the volume profile? Like what attracts you to the volume profile for those who are just tuning in and have no idea what is volume profile? Like why did it fit your personality?
So so as we all start from Japanese candlesticks first. So when I saw that, I was marking the wicks on charts, and I see it working. It always many times I have seen it working, and I had a question that why it always works. What is that in these wicks? What's something which is actually making the move? So I got curious and wanted to learn something, and I ended up in Umar Hasharaf's YouTube video, the OG of order flow trading. Then I understood that if I combine order flow is something which can combine with any strategy, especially for scalpers. So many times I saw that whenever I was trying to sell near the wicks, I mainly find a value area that's why its price is not going higher. Like for best example we have is this, that you can see that the only thing I marked here is just supply zone. We have not much data here. But if we go on the order flow chart, and let me show you that on weekly, if we look at the weekly volume profile, you can see that we had the previous week value area high aligned with the supply zone I marked here. That's why price actually rejected and buyers got absorbed here and seller took the control. And then we see that I come back on my trading view, and I usually wait for 4-hour candle to close below previous candle wick, indicating that it can go more lower and take the previous 4-hour low and can go much lower, and you can see this move happen. So I combine candlesticks and volume profile together, and I think people should not force any trading strategy or something which can't fit in the style. Because I tried MMT as well when I was trading Forex. And if you remember, MMT requires a lot of indicators. They have, I think, 10 to 20 indicators on the chart, and it looks like so I think you know about MMT.
I honestly I started trading in professionally like in 2017 to 2020. So I think MMT came after that, or am I mistaken?
Yeah. MMT came much after that. I think in 19 or 20.
I'm not to be honest. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that school of thought, but I know there's a lot of controversy, and it seems like you guys don't like it, and I probably won't like it either, to be honest.
Because what I thought that before we understand the market, we really had to understand the technical text behind the indicators and all of that. So I thought to approach it in a different way.
Yeah, that makes sense. One thing I'm looking at is Bitcoin spot ETF net inflows. What's interesting, Ayush, they've been positive for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're in a 7-day net inflow on Bitcoin ETF flows. And I know you're more of a scalp trader, but this is looking very bullish to me. Where you've been getting net inflows on Bitcoin ETFs since the 9th. So almost 2 weeks now. There was only 1 day of negative inflows. So this is once again why I'm leaning more bullish, why I think Bitcoin's going to break 78, 79K, go 80K and above. So yeah, this is actually very. Let me see if I can get more data here. Let's see. Yeah, we can clearly see on this chart on CoinGlass, like the past month is pretty much in the green. We're getting a positive spike in inflows. Also, obviously a spike in the price of Bitcoin. I mean, we were at 60K, we were 65K a month ago. Now we're at 75, 78, almost trying to get to 80. So I think this is starting to look like accumulation to me, or like institutions slowly buying, and people aren't really noticing it because it's just so slow. Like the movement of Bitcoin, it's not very volatile. It's just kind of steadily creeping up, like going from 60 to 65 to 70, 75, then back down to 70, then back up. And then it's kind of like trying to, I don't know, maybe I'm just biased here, but it's really trying to break out of here and go into the 80,000s.
I still remember that you said Bitcoin can go higher than 80,000.
Yeah, so if you go to the weekly on my chart, let me see. Let me adjust my settings here. Usually, what happens in bull bear cycles, when we lose the 55 exponential on the weekly, so you can see that in September. Like I can go back many months, but let's just start in September of 2024. This acted as support, so Bitcoin bounced from here. Once again, Bitcoin retraced the 55 EMA, bounced, and then once it lost it, this lets the big movement down. Now, what I'm thinking here is, if Bitcoin can break 80K, there's a high likelihood we'll test the 55 EMA again on the weekly, which is at around 86,500. So this could be a good short opportunity for swing traders right here. And then actually, if we can confirm a candle closure above this level, 86K or 87, this would flip the script for me, and I would become a bull again on Bitcoin, and probably, I'll probably buy more once a trend is confirmed to the upside. But we're still kind of far away from that. Like, to get to the 55 EMO would take about,
So if it goes bullish, then I think Boris, I think it's wrong with your camera, Boris. Yeah. So we have some technical issues. Yeah, it's lagging a lot. So yeah, guys, can we switch over to my chart? Thank you so much. And so yeah, Boris just mentioned that if we go, higher than he's very interested to buy till 86,500, and we also have the same supply zone marked, but I have two levels, 82,500 and 86,500, where we can see the bear move again. But I'm sure that these 2-3 months on Bitcoin crypto market is really tough, and everyone is waiting for some sort of volatility or breakout or break below. But yeah, I think that we really have nothing as for supply zone only this week, and if we able to cross above it, then we can easily reach 85,000. So this is the zone I'm looking at for the supply zone on BTC, and I don't think so Ethereum is going to reach there because it is really weak, and you can see the difference between the weekly candles here. We are actually above the previous, I'm not gonna say above, but we actually took out the previous week high on BTC and not on Ethereum. So I think if you have any long positions on Ethereum, be careful, because I still feel that it is a much weaker pair in this rally up. And yeah, if we go shorts, then Ethereum is going to provide us good short opportunities in future. And yeah, Boris, when you were not here, I mentioned that you were also looking at 86,500 supply zone, where you have your EMA band, and I also have this wick. So somehow we are looking at same area on high time frame. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, always on mute. As I was pointing out that we were, testing the 55 EMA in prior months and prior bull and bear cycles. So, what I'm looking at here is that we were rejected by the 55 back in January when we tried to get above 100K. So what I'm looking at for a potential short is for Bitcoin to get to this level at 86, 87, and then if this level gets taken out, then I'll be bullish for a move back up to above 100K. But also, I would probably set like some sell limit orders around this ribbon at 85 to 86K.
I think your screen, I think you have to share your screen. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Now we can see it.
Okay. Yeah, so for those who missed it, basically I'm looking at this ribbon. It's the 55 EMA. Let's make it short. If price can get above this ribbon, my bias will turn bullish. For right now, I'm bearish as long as we remain below it. So this level is around 86, 85K, which is what Ayush pointed out as well. So this would be a good swing short opportunity for me if price gets here. And then invalidation if price breaks above 88K.
Yeah. And Boris, are you using your VPN is on or off? Can you please make sure that?
Yeah, my VPN is off, so shouldn't be any problems there.
So yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions regarding anything, please write it in the chat. And yeah, I think we giveaway. Jonatan is gonna do giveaway. I think he forgot for today's stream. And yeah, I think it's 9:31 market open, and we can see no volume, nothing really interesting. But let's give it some time. I always wait for the first 15 or 30 minute when market opens.
And looking at AccuraTrade, which is the tool I like to use for order flow information on Bitcoin futures, so far nothing has come in the last 5 minutes. Actually, all the action pretty much happened pre-market, so still waiting for bigger orders to hit the market. Right now, I'm not seeing much.
Yeah, I mean, it does not feel like we are just again, we are also coming lower, I feel. So if we close below this wick, I'm gonna cancel my position in between. So I don't really think that it's gonna go well.
again, I wanted to point out Bitcoin dominance on the weekly time frame. I think I talked about this on the daily yesterday, but actually on the weekly, this is a much clearer view. So I think I already spoke about this maybe yesterday or the day before, but Bitcoin dominance is up 1.25% on the week. And usually when we get a break in Bitcoin dominance, that means things are looking bullish for Bitcoin and bearish for alts. And right now we're getting it's not confirmed yet because we still have 4 more days until the weekly close. But if this confirms, we're looking for Bitcoin dominance to go back to 66%, which would mean more capital flowing to the safety of Bitcoin and more basically capital rotating out of alts and going into Bitcoin. So again, that's another reason why I entered my Bitcoin long. I think with the ETF inflows, with Bitcoin dominance going up, with the short liquidations stacked at around the 80K level, it feels like this market wants to, at the very least, have a short squeeze up to 80K, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I'm curious, Ayush, do you look at Bitcoin dominance or USDT dominance or any metrics like those, or you just, once again, you have to look at volume profile?
Yeah, so everything is in front of you. That's all I look at.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So simple, things like ETF flows, since fear and greed.
Because the thing with me is that I tried many. So I tried many strategies, and I really got fed up with the I don't really like to handle and watch a lot of things as an intraday, because even if I try to learn something new, let's say, which can be related with the news and the numbers which we get on Forex Factory, I think that is something which is just going to create a lot of fuss in my head. And one bad thing I did as a trader when I was getting started, that I learned a lot of strategies together. So yeah, so now I'm just on a path to create something very simple for myself.
Right.
So
you're just gonna stick to volume profile, I guess.
Yeah, volume profile, order flow, footprint, and candlesticks. That's all. I think that's actually enough for an intraday trader, to be honest. So we have many people chatting in YouTube chat. Trump needs to chill out. Leave the market alone. we all, I think, we want the same. And Pinky Arora is saying BTC needs to clear those lows. I mean, we have many lows on BTC. Which level you're talking about? And she says that less is more. The simpler the strategy, the easier it to be execute. I mean, yeah, I think it's correct, but you have to be consistently repeating the same strategy every single day, because as a scalper, as an intraday trader, you really have to output a lot of things. So it's on the person's consistency as well. So we really have to maintain discipline every single day, and if we talk about swing traders, they are actually pretty much chill, and they have to, if I feel that swing traders actually have to watch the market, I think, on weekly basis. So today, let's say they saw a move, and they will decide what they want to do on the next weekly open or something.
I know a lot of traders that just use simple, they just use trend lines, nothing complicated, and they're very profitable. And that's all they use, just trend lines. And for me, that's just so simple. It just seems like first grade level stuff. You're just drawing diagonal lines and you're making money. But it works for them, so how can I be a judge of their strategy? But I think for me, Yeah, like the simpler the better, like horizontal support and resistance, like buying support, selling resistance, or shorting resistance and buying support. That's a strategy that has made millions for people. So I think keeping it simple is the best way.
So I think today also we are not going to get anything like even a short intraday trades. And yeah, I think I need to close this trade because I'm confident that it will go more lower. So I'm out of it and I'm down at around 150 US dollars. Good risk management there, because I was confident that if to move more higher we needed this 4-hour candle to be green and above this supply zone here. So not really happening much today, and the entire week is something if this week was really good to test our patience, to be honest. So yeah, I think I closed it around here. And if I have to put this in my journal, then I should have waited for the Ethereum and Bitcoin both to go above this supply zone. And yeah, but it's pretty much slow even after the market open. And let's look at gold, what gold is doing. On 1 hour, we can see that after the reaction from the monthly open, it's still in range, but almost bearish. On daily time frame, it is just tapping monthly open and getting rejection, and weekly open and getting rejection. So pretty much slow on gold as well. So Boris, when you look PAXG, do you have any pair which can be used for correlation for metals?
Yeah, actually, what I look at is, so we talked about this yesterday, but you can look at the ZAO Bitcoin, the gold Bitcoin ratio. So we were talking yesterday about this with you and Anastasiia, that gold or XAU versus Bitcoin or PAXG, whatever you want to call it, it's actually in a downtrend versus Bitcoin. So what this means is that more capital is flowing out of Bitcoin. It's actually going into more capital flowing out of gold and it's going into Bitcoin. So this is another bullish sign for Bitcoin. I guess this is more of a bearish sign for gold or PAXG. So I guess you could also compare it against the S&P, which I guess would be down right now because, as we know, the S&P 500 is making new all-time highs right now. And why not look at the US 500 right now? Yeah, S&P 500 on a daily still elevated, still well above the all-time highs. We had a sharp wick to the downside earlier overnight, but we're now back at the highs. So I think the S&P here wants to go higher. Yeah, we're kind of consolidating here. Tightening up here. I think this looks like it wants to break a bit higher. And I think this will be bullish for crypto and Bitcoin because, if the S&P and the NASDAQ continue to make new highs, I think investors are going to put their money back into the more riskier assets. So first it's going to be Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then probably Doge and other altcoins like that. Look at what is the NASDAQ doing here, though. Yeah, NASDAQ a bit weaker than the S&P, but still pretty much elevated here, still near the all-time highs. This has been an amazing move since the bottom. I think Jonatan mentioned this yesterday, but since the bottom here, from the 31st of March, we're now up 18%. which is pretty incredible. So that's why I'm waiting for, a capital shift or capital rotation back into crypto, into Bitcoin, because this is like a real breakout in the equity markets, and I don't see any reason why money wouldn't flow back into Bitcoin, especially because gold is going down. So where else are investors going to put their money?
Yeah. So I heard that you and Anastasiia were talking about the relation between the equity and crypto market. So what we can see is it's just pumping from like last few months, and Bitcoin is actually in still range. So how do you use both equities and Bitcoin as correlation, like even for your swing trades? Let's say we have the equity market is really bullish right now, but on crypto we are just in range. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, well, so when that happens, it kind of becomes more discretionary. So, if equity markets are making new all-time highs and Bitcoin is ranging, well, gold is going down. It is just my personal opinion, my theory that fund managers and institutions are going to rotate their money or their capital back into Bitcoin, because if I were in a position of a multi-billion-dollar fund management company, that's what I would do. But but we're crypto nerds, so maybe I'm a bit biased.
Yeah.
But for me, it's clear that gold is topped out, and especially when you consider that Bitcoin has been consolidating and gold is basically losing value against Bitcoin. This tells me that we're going to see capital rotate into Bitcoin soon. So hopefully it happens today. Maybe I wish by tomorrow the latest, because again, I don't want to hold my Bitcoin long into the weekend, because this is a very high risk position for me.
Oh, so I think I missed something on the MMT charts, that we had this value area high of the current weekly candle. That's why I actually bought at value area high instead of waiting for some proper confirmation. I was questioning myself that why it actually happened. And Boris, if I show you that, if I give you the answer of again, it's the same question you asked, that what made me add order flow. So what I see Wix as is supply demand zone, right? So we can see that we just have Wix, and what I'll treat this wick, and also you can see it, we are getting a rejection from this wick as well. So what I say is that what previous 4-hour candle printed on chart, and by that I use it for intraday setups. So we have just a wick here, but if we look at order flow chart, we have current weekly candle value area high. It actually works as very strong supply demand zone, and to go longs, obviously we needed really good volume to go higher. But you can see that while I was explaining, we got again reaction from this 4 a.m. candle wick. I don't know what actually happened. We got okay. So the plan was to stop me out and go higher. And look at the reaction from the exact support area of 4-hour. We can see the candles which are printed on right side, and we are getting the pullback.
Yeah.
So I always make sure if someone wants to trade intraday, I'm not saying this is any strategy, but if you focus on 4-hour wicks and also weekly and daily wicks, and you can easily see them working on lower time frame, and it really helps for intraday trades. And this is something which I have seen. And if you talk about equity, there I was usually scalping on 1 minute using 1:1, but on 1 minute it's really difficult here. But and yeah. So let's say if we wanted to sell from this candle, and I would make sure that I book profit above the support area, and you can see we got really sharp move right after the first tap. even though it can be a manipulation, whatever. But I've seen in crypto market, if I sometimes ignore the key levels of 4 hour, then I ended up giving some amount to market as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just looking at Ethereum, speaking of correlations, and I thought of looking at the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio right now, and actually, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So this is the chart of ETH versus BTC, and we're actually having a pretty negative day on ETH BTC. So on the current daily candle, we're down about 2% against Bitcoin, and this is like almost starting to look like it wants to break structure. So actually, Ethereum is looking very weak to me, and yesterday we were talking about I wanted to place a hedge on my Bitcoin long by shorting Ethereum, and I wish I would have done that because actually this would have worked out.
So yeah, when yesterday you were talking about the Ethereum short,
Yeah.
so you were talking about the BTC, Ethereum and BTC, not Ethereum USDT.
Yeah. Because if you look at it right now, like Bitcoin is pretty much the same price as we talked about yesterday, but Ethereum versus Bitcoin is down 2%. So actually this would have acted as a good hedge. I just kind of hesitated because in theory, if Bitcoin, let's say it shoots up to 85K, like Ethereum will still like go up like a certain amount. It just won't be as much as Bitcoin. So I don't know. I'm thinking that might be like a mathematical formula to like short Ethereum based on how it's performing against Bitcoin, or vice versa. Because sometimes Ethereum actually outperforms Bitcoin. It's not always that Ethereum is in a downtrend. This has just been the case for the past, I guess, year and a half, unfortunately. But yeah, for the Ethereum bulls, it's not looking good. Like we're dropping quite significantly from this range, and this is like the last line in the sand. This 0.29, 0.03 region. If we go below it, then yeah, we're gonna fall much harder on Ethereum. Yeah, like what are your thoughts on Ethereum on the lower time frames right now?
Lower time frame on Ethereum, it's weaker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best pair to go shorts. Good for sell. But when I look at the way you see the strength and weakness is really incredible, because I use Ethereum USD and BTC USD for strength and weakness. Let's say like this pair took the previous swing high, but Ethereum failed to take the previous week high. That's why it is weaker. But we can if we look at Ethereum BTC, we have much clear picture here that it is actually going lower. And if you look at BTC Ethereum, it's in uptrend. So yeah, it's like instead of comparing the high lows on the chart, you can switch to the pairs, and you can easily see who's dominating, and you can decide that which pair is good for longs or shorts. So we can so you can see that BTC is stronger for buy, and Ethereum is weaker for sells. So it's good for sellers.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like from a swing trading and from a scalp trading perspective, like Ethereum is looking very weak. We're unable to break above this the 2400 zone. We were briefly rejected, so we'll see what happens. So Ethereum kind of behaves strangely in comparison to Bitcoin, but once again, I'm gonna put on this chart. So this is a much cleaner read when we look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin. This is clearly in a downtrend, and it's clearly losing value against Bitcoin. So it's hard for me to be bullish on Ethereum, whether it's short term or long term.
And I feel being only 2 people on the stream, it actually feels really lonely. We need
Mhm.
the entire host team here.
Yeah, can we, Jonathan, please? We're waiting for you to come back. We really miss you. But let's see what's happening. So, crypto globals in the latest hour, we're getting a little bit of a push up on some altcoins, like Zcash up 1%, Dash up 1.6. So, looks like the privacy coins are doing good instead of New York Open. But this is like very low volatility, like, a 1% move in altcoins in 1 hour is not much. And then looking at the order flow, actually a bit negative since the start of the New York session. So yeah, still kind of in decision mode on Bitcoin. If you go back to the daily time frame, yeah, we're starting to like test the highs from last week. So we'll see. Like, once again, I think I'm gonna like de-risk my Bitcoin short. I mean, my Bitcoin long, and maybe try to short something, because I really don't like that Bitcoin's going down right now, and the S&P and the US 100 are like flat or going up. Yeah, like the US 500 is neutral, Bitcoin is going down. That's not good. And then let's see, ZAG or gold. Even gold is up against Bitcoin right now on the daily. So yeah, I know what's happened. What happened in the past 5 minutes? Looks like Bitcoin's just dumping right now. Is there any news that came out?
If I say it's just filling the previous week of the 4-hour candle.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny when you guys, ask me some questions and I bring up the wick. Okay, I'm gonna do this because we have wick. Wick that, wick this. And yeah, we have some a question. I mean, Gyro Trades is saying shorts look good on BTC, but the upside liquidity at 97,600 is what's stopping me from shorting. What do we have at 900? Sorry, 600. I think you are referring the supply zone of higher time frame, I guess. But if shorting is actually good with the Ethereum than the BTC. What
Yeah, I
have
agree,
seen,
'cause
like,
if you look, if you look at Ethereum, Bitcoin, like obviously, if you're gonna short something, short Ethereum, because the ETH Bitcoin ratio is not looking good at all.
Like, what I have noticed is that when we have really slow or boring market, the strength and weakness between Ethereum and Bitcoin stays the same. Let's say if we are in one directional move, like even if it's bear or bull, usually the strength and weakness keep on changing on this pair. But this entire week, I have seen Ethereum being weak and Bitcoin being strong. So whenever I see this kind of market, it's an indication that we need to risk less and pay more attention on a session where we have good volume. So when in mostly good markets, we see the strength and weakness switching in between lower time frame. But all I can say is just same strength and weakness on lower time frame as well. Like even with the candles, we can see this
also
8 a.m. candle. Yeah.
Also, by the way, like the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio is also useful for just judging altcoin strength from my experience. So if ETH is going down against Bitcoin on a longer term time frame like your daily, this usually means that altcoins are going down as well. So it's almost like a marker for the strength of altcoins. So if Ethereum is going down against Bitcoin, most likely all other altcoins are also going down against Bitcoin. So just keep that in mind. Like, there's not going to be an alt season until we get a flip in the ETH Bitcoin ratio. So I'm looking, Ethereum needs to go above Bitcoin by like 50% in order for us to be in an alt season. Otherwise, it's take profit zero on most altcoins. That might be a very dramatic view, but it is what it is. Because we only see an altcoin season when ETH goes up against Bitcoin, just looking at historical patterns. And right now, this thing has been in a perpetual downtrend against Bitcoin. And people keep asking me, Boris, when is altcoin season coming? It's not, I don't know. I don't think it's coming. I think most alts are dead, and there's going to be maybe new projects. And I would stick to Bitcoin. Again, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm very biased, so take my opinion with a grain of salt, but I am not bullish on any kind of altcoin right now. Ayush, what do you think? Are you like bullish on any alts, like long term? I know you're a scalp trader, but are you holding anything for the long term right now?
No, nothing.
Oh, exactly. And I think Jonatan is not holding anything either.
Yeah, I think and this 2-3 months is also really bad for swing traders as well.
So I think Jonatan had a good trading strategy. Basically, just go short on all the altcoins, and we'll make a lot of money. But I think I'm going to incorporate that strategy into my swing trading, and hopefully
that's what I asked.
Yeah.
I actually asked the same question when we were starting the stream, that whatever we see any project in downtrend or near supply zone, he will go short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but guys, I think we're almost at the end. We've been going for 2 hours. It's 10 a.m. in New York.
Yeah, and I think the stream is going to end.
It's about time to wrap things up.
Yeah. So, and yeah, make sure to join us on Discord. We are going to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're gonna look closer into some more fundamental metrics and go over like more specific trade setups that we're in. And it's gonna be a very like chill, smooth session to wind down the week, because for me it's been very stressful, like watching the Trump headlines and just looking at the price action of Bitcoin. It's been stressing me out. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's Discord session. I believe that's going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be at 10 a.m.
Or
10 a.m. UTC, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
okay, so
thank
10
you guys for watching.
Tomorrow, guys. We'll see you then.
See you guys tomorrow.